Going Global Part 2, Implementation. Analyzing international markets is a process every company must go through before taking the steps covered in Going Global Part 1, Determining Potential. In analyzing market potential, your team will have gathered information on the emerging markets through the country's government agencies, your domestic government agencies, private agencies, and information sources such as the Federation of International Trade Associations, and developing business communications with other companies already in the market, as well as international business consultants with a long history with it. In this process, you will also have assessed political and cultural risks and barriers, market size, trends, and looked well into the distance to predict the market's evolution and sustainability. Now that you've made the determination to pursue international business, there are a number of keys to implementing it to consider. Analyzing web potential. As the Internet evolves, many international trade and business professionals believe it will replace intermediaries and distributors altogether. Most still caution against relying exclusive on it, however, and encourage small companies and those just entering the international marketplace to use both it and the tried and true practices. International business experts generally agree that the Internet has considerable potential for increasing cross-border business profitability and efficiency. Each company needs to evaluate how the Internet helps it spot and develop business opportunities, whether the Internet will replace some of the services offered, thus diminishing potential and profits, how it is used for managing international human resources, how it helps manage finances and currency exchange, what it contributes to the organization's structure and processes, how much it speeds up business activities, thus increasing productivity and profits, what types of services or products you need to add to the mix that are purely digital and web-based, how it can be used to monitor affiliate performance and make corrections thereof, how it impacts the geographical spread or range of your business opportunities, and what it contributes to or removes from the business culture of your company. Once you've determined your degree of Internet reliance based on these evaluations, you need to create and maintain your web presence. This involves defining the web audience and uses of the Internet, creating the content that delivers for your mission, developing affiliates, partners, and communities on the web, creating an appropriate intranet, garnering ongoing feedback and generating improvements based thereon, and requiring and facilitating its use. Import-export management. The challenges and nuances of import and export management are so extensive that a four-year education based only on the import-export subject might just begin to cover most of it. Essentially, a company's team and consultants have to be thoroughly versed in how the following elements of international trade relate to the way the domestic and host country regulations, trade agreements, and laws enable import and export. Use this list of elements as a checklist for issues that must be investigated, addressed, and written into your import-export business and marketing plan. Overall trade picture, competitive strategy, import-export and business strategy, developing imports and exports, sustainable importing and exporting, competition, the playing field and rules, logistics, assessing market opportunities and obstacles, selecting sustainable markets, trade blocks, agreements, and trade barriers, sustainable positioning in channels, getting product to channels, working with agents, getting product through channels, packaging, insurance, customs brokers, warehousing, ports, trade zones, competitive pricing, product or service positioning, credit applications, credit terms, and credit risk, payment terms, banking, letters of credit, interest rates, inflation, inventory, shipping, return on investment, sustaining a competitive edge, trends, agreements, manufacturer distribution teamwork, and value-added services. Marketing. Citibank's Jeffrey P. Graham explains international marketing thusly, quote, "Generally speaking, the term international marketing is actually a misnomer that is commonly used to describe import-export marketing. International marketing per se actually refers to cross-border marketing that is most often carried out by multinational corporations, while small and medium-sized domestic companies by way of foreign trade intermediaries most often carry out import-export marketing or trade. While import-export marketing and cross-border marketing do share some common or similar characteristics in some aspects, it is very important for newcomers to understand the real differences. As a practical matter, articles written about both subjects sometimes blur the distinctions, and this can become slightly confusing. So that we do not confuse you, we shall place both international marketing and import trade or import-export marketing under one umbrella term: global marketing. End quote. Essentially, all of the cross-media marketing tools any business uses are viable in international markets. However, your marketing plan must include an understanding of how international trade is facilitated, the role of trade leads and trade missions in the marketing process, how to identify your foreign target market when marketing demographic information is scarce or non-existent, how your intermediaries and distributors affect your marketing process, the budget you need to market successfully to these markets, how well you've tailored your product and message to the market, whether your marketing collateral is appealing and effective in the new market or you need to revise it entirely, whose opinion and experience in these foreign markets can really impact your marketing success, and how many people you need to dedicate to stay on top of trends and evolutions in the market and being effectively responsive to them. Cross-cultural communication. Although we address the importance of effective cross-cultural communication in the video module Business Etiquette and Negotiation in the International Arena, enough cannot be said about the importance of doing it well. While learning how best to achieve your goals through cross-cultural communication, consider the following as they weigh heavily into how you will proceed and succeed. Does it make more sense to meet in a neutral location, i.e. a hotel meeting room, or on one of the company's premises? How defined or nebulous is the culture of the people you're doing business with? Have many cultures blended into a more cosmopolitan one, or is the company very monocultural? What language will the discussions be done in? How do communication styles vary between one-on-one, formal writing, email, webcasts, etc.? Does the way you typically conduct business mesh with the foreign companies? If not, how do you modify your practices so it works for them? How do you put together an agenda that keeps you productive and focused but works with the meeting styles of your host company? What systems do you have in place to make sure that what is communicated by both parties is understood by the other the way it needs to be? How do you solve miscommunications effectively yet diplomatically? Logistical plan. The modern logistics of globalized trade includes refined practices in daily operations, strategic planning and coordination, use of the best available tools, superior scheduling, product and practice engineering experience, computerized system design, and effective process controls. Your international business plan must take all of these considerations into account, incorporate all the fundamentals of any business plan, and include the following elements: products to be imported or exported, supplier or distributor, methods of transportation and infrastructure, intermediaries, inventory and warehousing, financing requirements, terms of sale, supply chain, transportation systems and infrastructure, import-export rules and regulations, and documentation. Managing information. As Jeffrey P. Graham says, the transnationalism of business culture, which is most clearly apparent on the World Wide Web, is for very many enterprises a double-edged sword. While presenting opportunity, at the same time it requires that businesses ingest and process extraordinary quantities of information that is being generated in all of the media. Some examples of relevant media are newspapers and magazines, trade journals and newsletters, radio and television broadcasts, special and research reports, email and social networking discussions, and websites and webcasts. Every company going into the international market has to develop, evolve, and follow an information management strategy and plan. The strategy development involves deciding what information is relevant to your business, organizing the company to assimilate information well, developing information channels, monitoring the media carefully, seeking outside media monitoring assistance when appropriate, and periodically reviewing and assessing information value based on a cost-benefit analysis. This concludes Business Training's video module Going Global Part 2, Implementation. Thank you.